morning. This is Joyce. I know you're going to get this at 12 midnight, but today, as we commemorate 9/11, and I'm recording this episode of The Voice of Joyce, I'm reminded that it may be September 11th today, but in my mind, it's winter. I can feel it. That's why I'm wearing a winter jacket. And if I told you it was really winter in September, would you believe me? And my next question would be, why should you believe me? We all know it's not winter, though if you lived in Denver, it could very well be 80 degrees today and 20 degrees tomorrow with snowstorms coming. But I'm in New York City. What are the chances it's really winter here and snow is falling on Lincoln Center? Not great, and you wouldn't believe me. So tell me, why do you believe Trump? When Trump says he knew that the virus was virulent and that many people would die and that this was a national security problem, why did he tell people that there's nothing to worry about? And why do people still follow him without masks and social distancing? I can't understand it. There's only one or two ways to defeat this virus. One way is we use the rapid saliva tests. We use them daily. We test people, and those who are asymptomatic but infectious, we quarantine those people and trace their contacts. The other way is we use masks, we social distance, and we probably should lock down for 3 weeks across the entire country all at once, and then we'll get rid of the outbreaks. To go to major events unmasked is looking for trouble. The motorcyclists who went to the Dakotas, all 400,000 of them, 266,000 came down with COVID. How each person fared, I really don't know, but we do know there was one death. COVID is not going away by magic, and panic doesn't occur when you know what to expect. It's not so terrible and not so difficult to self-quarantine for a couple of days and know whether or not you've got COVID. And yet, I understand many are following Trump unmasked and unprotected from this virus. I don't think you'd believe me if I convinced you that it was snowing outside today. Why would you believe Trump after he admitted to knowing how virulent the disease is and still flaunts it? He has an advantage over most of us. He's tested daily, and so is Pence. Everyone else is accountable for their actions. You don't think 190,000 people dying is significant? You don't think it could happen to you? It can happen to anyone. Do we know from one moment to the next what's going to happen? And it's not just your life that's involved. It's whoever you've been in contact with. Their lives are involved, and their lives shouldn't be expendable. Which brings me to governing in general. I don't really believe that anyone should be in government unless they care about American lives. And that's not just whether we live or die, or we serve in the military and we die for the Constitution. No, it means if we're here in America, every life counts. And as a statesman, if you don't grasp that, you should not be in office. I don't want anyone in office who doesn't think that my life is worth saving. I feel sad for those of you who feel your lives don't matter. You'll gladly give them up. But don't speak for me, because that's not how I feel at all. Sure, I'm older, but I don't think old, and I don't feel old, and I am never going gently into that good night. To me, there's a lot of life to be lived, and I want to be able to pass it on to my children and my grandchildren. When we've got so many people suffering in this country, not to pass a meaningful stimulus bill when you know, and you do know, COVID is not going away unless we do the self-isolation and the testing that's required. You are guilty, as far as I'm concerned, of not caring about people. And if you don't care about people and your constituents, you don't belong in office. We have many litmus tests for running for government positions, whether it's on the state or the local level. I think compassion and empathy for our fellow Americans ought to be part of that litmus test. If you are totally amoral, you know what? You don't belong in government, because 330 million lives are on your balance sheet, along with whatever goods and services are provided for us. And if you have no feeling for any of us, don't go to government. Stay in lobbying, staying in the industries that you've lobbied for all that cash. But don't be a civil servant. Most civil servants really do care about their jobs and the people that they serve. I don't know what happened to our elected officials, but they've certainly been corrupted over the years if they put the money first and we, the people, second. You want more failed policies to look at? Look at California, Oregon, and Washington burning. For years, scientists have been saying you have to have controlled burns of millions of acres of brush. And if you do that, you don't have these massive fires. Did we listen? No. Did we fund them? No. Is it too late? No. We can do it. We've got the cash. Now is the time when interest rates are really low to stamp out the virus first, and you can do that with the rapid saliva tests, not the ones that require machinery and equipment and physicians, but the ones that have been developed and approved by Dr. Michael Mina. Go into the public health center, spend the $50 billion for a quarter of a year's supply of tests for everyone, and everyone self-isolate if you're testing positive. If we do that, we can be back to work and school in a nanosecond. And then perhaps we can come together and rebuild our economy and our people. Because our people have suffered, and they've suffered mightily. Suicides are up. Why shouldn't they be? People are going hungry. Homicides are up. Not to dreadful levels, but they're there. Opioid addiction is up. Why should we, a civilized, responsible nation, allow these tragedies to exist? There's no excuse. We have fallen behind the civilized world. Everyone else's economy is coming back. No one else suffered the deaths like we are, except perhaps India, and they have 4 times the population of America and Brazil, where Bolsonaro doesn't care about his people either, and is destroying the Amazon so that no humans will be able to exist on this planet shortly. We can't afford this anymore. We can't have magical thinking. I can't think that it's cold enough for me to wear this jacket in September when it's about 73 degrees outside. I have to be a realist. If I want to live long and live well, I have to be a realist, and so do you. So please, I don't know what makes you follow Trump and follow his advice, but he certainly isn't giving good advice or good information to anyone. And if you want to know whether it's really 71 or 73 degrees in New York City, you can look it up on any resource. And if you don't believe that COVID has taken 190,000 deaths, do the same. Don't listen to Trump. Go look at The Guardian, The Economist, The Financial Times, The Wall Street Journal. Go to the sites like the Kaiser Family Foundation. Get the facts. With facts, we don't have to be in denial, and we can survive and thrive. Thank you for listening. Part B of my weekly YouTube is a hell of a lot different. It's about the Feldenkrais Festival that's coming up. And if you don't know about what I've been doing over the last couple of months, well, this is an introduction, and it would serve people well to join. You'll feel so much better. So take care, everyone. Looking forward to another week, and it's almost my high holidays upon us. And I would wish everyone a sweet new year. You can't have too many blessings, whether you believe or not. So have a pleasant day, everyone, and God bless you. Bye now. And remember, when I'm recording this, I'm a little sad because it is 911. Bye now, and take care.